What's up, guys? Welcome to Snipe Life, where we talk about scripture, truth, and creativity. And today we're back to our series, My Friend Watches. We've been waiting for a long time to get back to this series because we just haven't had great scheduling. So everybody's kind of been all over the place, super busy doing different stuff. And so we're finally back to it. We're going to get through a few episodes today, and hopefully we'll have some episodes for you in the next couple weeks. So anyway, let's get to it. Here is episode number 1 of season 2 of The Chosen. So this is another actor who's changed. Big James is now being played by a different person, but he stays Big James throughout the whole season 2.
Oh. I wonder why.
There are some family issues with the other actor.
Did they change the song?
No, it's the same song.
Philip just said, "Come and see." And I did. And look, I don't know how to describe it other than he knew me before he knew me.
You haven't met him yet.
It was in a tavern. He set his hand on mine. Which isn't what it sounds like. Maybe leave that part out. People will get confused.
I don't know yet what I will be including. I'm just writing it all down.
It was the 4th morning of the 3rd week of the month of Adar. Sometime during the 2nd hour.
It doesn't have to be precise.
Why wouldn't it need to be precise? Mine will be precise.
Who knows when I will see the others again, or if. I'm not in a hurry to write a whole book, but I do want to get the eyewitness stories now, while we're together.
Wait, who was that?
This is
You know
John,
that if you
and then
try to write
Mother Mary.
every single thing he did, the world itself could not contain the books that would be written.
A disclaimer. That's good, I'm going to say that. You see, Mother, if I do not write these things down, they will be lost to history. James would agree.
So did you guys understand kind of what was going on there?
He's writing the beginning of the Bible?
So he's writing the beginning of his gospel. So this is like 15 to 20 years in the future after Jesus has died.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Yeah, I
miss
was
him.
wondering, like, okay.
And they got together because this is the funeral of Big James. He's the first one out of the apostles that dies. Talks about that in Acts. And so he has just been killed by a king, basically. A king kills him. And so they're all together for his Shiva, which is like a funeral, basically.
And it looked, I wasn't know if I was tripping, but they all looked like they had gray hair.
Yeah.
I was like,
Now this is where we left off.
Oh, went back in time?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd
Still
snatch it out of
plowing,
the
right?
water with my bare hands if it meant not spending a night with these people.
No,
Story
farm
is
stuff.
on its face, right?
We lucked out, brother.
With due respect, you are walking towards Samaria to find a group of men you do not know.
And a woman.
A woman who would be with a group of men. Do not talk back to me, young lady. This is foolishness.
so they're looking for them like, when they left. Okay.
He told him to meet him in Samaria in 7 days.
Maybe they know the
and
way.
so-
He's in his room.
He needed a moment alone.
Well, there are many begging to hear more.
He's been talking to people since dawn. He needs a break.
I'll bring him some water.
I thought most people had left after the first sermon.
They left to go get their family and friends, and now they're back threefold.
The number of men we need to reach per hour is 83.333333333.
Yeah, what's 0.33 of a man, Matthew?
Simon,
There's a crowd going out there, and we need to decide what to do.
he's gone.
What are you talking about?
He's not in his room or anywhere in the house. I checked the
We
alley.
lost him?
He's probably not lost.
Okay, James. You search the southern side. Andrew and I will search the north. Tell Thaddeus to keep an eye on the crowd.
What about me?
Stay here, in case he comes back.
Staying here gives me the greatest likelihood of locating Jesus first.
Well, there you go.
Sometimes all you need is a fresh set of eyes. Now hand me some pitch and it'll be as good as new.
Rabbi! Oh, quickly, get the others.
That woman is going to introduce you to every Samaritan in the country.
I hope so.
It's hot.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I don't know you.
Maybe you're in the wrong place.
We are looking for Jesus.
Everyone is.
Oh, you're here. Thomas and Rema, yes?
Yes.
Mary? Good memory. So good to have you. Thomas, this is Matthew. Matthew, Thomas.
You approached a strange home, and when the occupant answered, you said, "I don't know you." Is that being rude?
You see what he just said there? He rejoices more for one sheep than over the 99 who never went astray. So it is not the will of my Father that one of these should perish. In the same way, I tell you, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance. Look at them.
You couldn't tell Jew from Samaritan the way they're listening.
It's good to see you.
You too, Rabbi. You remember Rema?
How could I forget? So you will be joining us also?
Rabbi.
Wait, there's the ones at the
This
wedding,
is my
right?
father,
Yeah.
Anthony.
Oh, yes. The owner of the vineyard that produced such fine wine for my friends.
Why don't we get some rest? And tomorrow morning, we talk about everything. Sound good?
I suppose we could.
It's a plan. Thank you. We are delighted that you are with us.
We've arrived.
What happened?
I was just telling everybody the work that you boys did today, how remarkable it was. You must be famished.
Yes, we were hungry.
Eat. Restore your strength. And when you're done, please describe the work to the others. I hope everyone takes note of what John and Big James did here. Good night, friends.
Where are we going?
I don't know any more than you. Jesus gave them an errand and said, come with. I don't get it either.
I have never performed hard labor.
Guess you'll just have to tag along like the rest of us.
What do you think? Dinner at the treasure or the high priest?
Neither.
Dinner with whom, then?
You know, there are a lot of people who want to talk to him. Yes, but he wants to make dinner.
That's the errand.
Yeah, that's the errand. Yeah. You guys are really enjoying this being in the know, huh? Coming from you, Simon. We didn't expect to find a bag of gold, did we? We're putting it to good use. Simon. Yes, master. 3 skins of wine. Done.
Matthew, black pepper, chives, salt, olive oil.
At this cost, we will not make it to Judea.
Have faith, Matthew. In him. We are going to get out of the streets. Why? Samaria's biggest problem.
Too many Samaritans.
This man, he told me everything you ever did. Yes, we've heard him for ourselves. Because of his words, we believe he is the anointed one. You don't have to keep telling us, Fofina. Here,
No, I only need 3.
it's on the house. Anything for him.
I just need a few moments with him.
He said it was a short walk. I'm sure he'll be here soon, Abba.
I have things to say. You're lucky I even came all this way with you. I could have just decided no.
Gaffney, good morning. Thank you for your patience. I had a few people to meet before our important talk. Were you comfortable last night?
Yes, although I must say I didn't sleep very well. Allow me to first say why I am here. I want to thank you for whatever you did at the wedding. You kept the reputation of my business and of my daughter and Thomas from suffering. I need to leave for my journey, and I do not have time to be unclear. I believe this to be the edge of blasphemy. And I am not in the habit of believing a man from Nazareth. And I am not in the habit of giving my blessing for my daughter to leave our home. But I am in your debt. And that is why we are in this room with you now. I cannot give you my belief or my devotion.
I ask a lot of those who follow me. But I ask little of those who do not.
I don't want to be rude, but I have said all I want to say. I will see you next when you ask for my daughter's hand. Gaffney, I know. I am not stupid. You may be, but I am not.
This is some expert work, my boys. Exceptional.
You should have seen this place. Weeds and branches piled everywhere.
I believe I owe you a debt of gratitude. I would bow, but as you can see...
It's John and Big James here that put in the sweat.
You own the field?
I do.
We thought it was for travelers.
I would love for you to share a meal with me and my friends.
I'm really so very sorry, but we don't have any food. Not even for ourselves.
We've got that covered. Please. We would be honored.
So you followed him all the way into Samaria?
We did suggest the alternate route along the Jordan.
We did.
You didn't think could be dangerous for you?
Of course. But in this world, bones will still break. Hearts will still break. But in the end, the light will overcome darkness. Speaking of broken bones, what's the story?
Ah, a friend's horse. That's always dangerous.
No, not exactly.
Oh.
Come, Rebecca. It's time for bed.
Rebecca.
Say good night to your new friends.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
We're gonna talk about this later.
If you knew who I am, you would never have helped me. We attacked a Jew who was traveling alone. Pulled him down from his horse, took all his money and all his clothes. I was to ride north and sell the horse at a Roman outpost. But I wasn't on for 10 minutes when she reared up, threw me, broke my leg. Every day, I think about that Jew. Naked and alone on the road, possibly dead. I could be a murderer.
He didn't die. Somebody came along and helped him.
How do you know?
Melek. I know. I promise you, he did not die.
What do you want?
Believe my words. Return to synagogue. Search Torah.
I never learned to read.
And listen to the word read aloud. And let it affect your heart. See what happens.
And then what?
Tell others.
You know the crime I committed? In cold blood? You'd help someone like me?
He would, Yes. We never know what sort of men may lay in wait along the side of the road, huh? Too soon?
You tugged him.
I think he already knew.
Thank you.
I often have that reaction, more than not, to his grace.
You're sure this is it?
I'm about to run up.
I don't know. This is the address I was given. Are you sure this isn't a problem?
I'm dying anyways. I don't need the house anymore. Where is Jesus? You have certainly livened things up around here.
Right.
One of the rooms is haunted by my dead grandmother.
Oh, I'll take that one.
You know who he is? He's not afraid of ghosts.
I might be.
What's wrong? Abba? What's wrong? No pain. Let go.
No pain. No pain.
Perfect. Medic. It was him. It was him.
I had a feeling when he said sleep well tonight.
So,
Look at the bed.
how did you sleep?
It does not look comfortable.
Took me a while. I was a little scared by what Neraya said about this room being haunted.
Oh, come on. It's not haunted.
Why didn't you correct him when he said it was?
I don't address everything at once with new converts, Big James.
I am thankful before you, living and enduring King, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Great is your faithfulness.
Pardon, excuse me. Oh. The invitation from the treasurer.
If you look for him, you'll find him.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, yeah? What'd you hear?
I heard you looked and couldn't find him.
You guys lost him for practically a whole day, Matthew said.
He goes where he wants, when he wants.
Yeah? Well, we need to do better. He said we were excellent planners.
I'm pretty sure he said planters.
He applauded our execution.
He sent you to the farm to teach you a lesson.
And we made an impression.
Let's vote on it.
Sure. Okay.
All in favor of John and Big James's plan?
Very.
I agree an agenda would be prudent.
I'm not voting.
Me either.
Why not?
New guy.
It doesn't matter what I think you should do or what you think.
All opposed?
If you knew if it was a Samaritan field, you
want to
wouldn't
do it?
Rabbi.
So that's the lesson?
You couldn't wait, could you?
We're sorry, we just wanted to clear a few things up, if that's okay.
By all means.
You Jewish boys are far from home.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we are. Shalom to you too.
Here's our traditional Jewish greeting for you.
Don't lift a finger.
That was a warning.
Try it again and see what happens.
Quiet, Big James.
Shalom to you too.
You filthy dogs! I said quiet. Let us do something.
And what would that achieve?
Defending your honor.
They reviled and humiliated you.
They deserve to have bolts of lightning rain down and incinerate them!
Yes, fire from the heavens.
Fire.
You said we could do things like that. Say the word, and it will happen.
Why not? We knew we couldn't trust these people. We shouldn't have come here in the first place. They don't deserve you.
These people that you hate so much are believing in me without even seeing miracles. It's the message, the truth that we're giving them. And you're going to get in the way of that because a few people from a region you don't like were mean to you. That they're not worthy? What, you're so much better? You're more worthy? Well, let me tell you something. You're not. That's the whole point.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Rabbi.
Humble thyself.
As we gather others, I need you to help show the way.
Fire?
You wanted to use the power of God to bring down fire.
Wow.
Prophetic.
Well, it sounds a lot worse when you say it that way.
Thunder exploding out of your chests at every turn. In fact, that's what I'm going to call you from now on. James and John, the sons of thunder.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Today, it was not good. But strong passion can be a good thing when channeled for righteousness. I just may have to delay giving you that authority we discussed earlier, or in smaller doses, until you two calm down a bit.
What to do has the great honor of giving a reading from the scroll of Moses in our humble synagogue?
Of course.
I will leave you to make your selection in private.
Thank you. Gershom.
Yes, Rabbi.
Can you send in my disciple John, please? The 5 books of Moses, and no more.
They're missing out on so much.
Yes,
Dang, you put a limit on it?
but we have to start somewhere.
He didn't put a limit. That's on
What do you think I should read?
It's what they believe is proper
Maybe.
scripture, basically.
Moses striking the rock instead of speaking to it. Or Balaam hitting his donkey when he was mad.
Don't torment me.
How about when Moses broke the tablets? Jonathan storming away from the dinner table. Samson striking down the men of Ashkelon. Oh, wait. They don't have those scrolls.
I get it. I get it.
I really am open to suggestions for the reading.
I couldn't. After today, after yesterday, I do not feel very much worthy.
Who's worthy of anything?
You? But no man, apparently.
I'm a man, John.
And yet...
I am who I am.
I suppose I love the beginning. I love how God simply spoke and the world came into being.
Yes. As David wrote, by the word of the Lord,
the heavens were made.
All right, episode 1. What did you guys think?
I liked a lot of things. I wish I had kids. But
Sorry,
I
she's
like how
taking
he
off
goes
her
to the house. What's the guy name with the foot or the
Malik.
Malik, yeah. It's just funny how like they all always have like they always say something like I'm not worthy or
Yeah.
you know, you don't know what I've done, like all this stuff, and it's like God knows, and he's like, I don't care, you know, that's why I'm here, because you need me, and you know, it's just, I like that, like how the illustrations of different things, and then like they're all there, but they all have a story, like they all have something, so it's just,
and they're all co-signing like, oh, it's okay.
Mhm.
You don't know what we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they woke up at the house, and he was like, wow, you don't even have to be there to do miracles. And it's
Mhm.
like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was also cool to see how human like the disciples are, because I guess kind of in my head I put them on this like hierarchy of like, this is Jesus, these are his disciples, like right underneath him, and like they're so human, and like I don't know, you can kind of see where even they at some points make this about the wrong thing. Yeah, and they kind of are going crazy a little bit. So,
Yeah, the whole show is about the disciples, and so like giving us that understanding of like, you know, maybe this is how they would have acted, right?
Yeah.
and giving us a fuller picture of that. This is probably one of my favorite episodes, like writing wise. I love that they start, like, what did you think about that first scene where they're like going ahead in the future? What did you guys think about that?
They're now, it's hitting them that this needs to be told because we are getting older. And then having them recreate the experience of them first meeting, it was kind of a low-key a recap of the first season.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I do remember that. I remember when they first, So that was kind of it was good. It was a good recap for me. Putting the pieces back together.
Yeah. So there's a disciple that you meet in that whole sequence that you haven't met yet. And it didn't tell you his name, but you're going to meet him in episode 2. But
and the fact that he was just saying, like, this needs to be told. Like, we need to have this written down. What God's done. So.
Yeah. And I think that's the point. The reason why they did that scene specifically, like during the Shiva of Big James, the funeral of Big James, is because
they were all together.
Like this is the first time that they can first be all together, like during that time. But also, this is the first apostle that dies, so it's like now it's getting real, right? Like now it's for real. Like they're trying to get after us. And if you read that in Acts, so Big James is killed by this King Agrippa. And then immediately after that, Peter is put into jail. And then an angel actually helps Peter escape from jail. So this is like right after Peter has like escaped from jail as well. And they're all together. And so it's like it's really interesting, like the timeline that's working there. But anyway.
When did you say that sequence took place?
Like 15 to 20 years, I think, after Christ's death, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're all, they're all older, obviously, and kind of in a different place, but they're like hard in ministry, like running away from, the Jewish people that want to kill them, essentially.
Are they still traveling together?
No, they wouldn't have been together. They all got separated after Stephen's death. So do you know Stephen? He's like the first martyr, the first Christian who was killed. Is Stephen, and he was killed in Jerusalem, I believe. But after his death, like they just scattered basically because they were running away from the people who wanted to kill them, and so as they scattered, that helped the church to grow because they were going in all these different places and yeah. So it was all part of the plan.
So like, I guess I'm kind of confused about like him writing it down. Like, what would have happened if like nobody like wrote it down? Were they told to write it down? I feel like
not necessarily. But obviously they wanted to, and they wanted to pass down the knowledge. This is pretty accurate to how it would have been. They didn't like write it down while they were following Jesus. They weren't like, let me just write down everything you do. They would have come together later and gotten accounts from everybody of what happened. So like the account of Mary when she was pregnant and the angel told her what she told her and everything else, like all of that would have been told through a later account and then written down and then copied and copied and copied and copied through the scribes. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I love how John picked Genesis and how they correlate, right? Because John's gospel starts with, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And so like that, how they put that together, that obviously didn't happen necessarily like that, but it's plausible like that he got it like that.
I mean, he's obviously looking at the Genesis account in order to make his gospel, right? Like
I'm saying it's plausible that Jesus would have asked him, like that that story specifically, that he asked him which book, and then all of that. Like it was just beautifully put together, in my opinion.
Yeah. It definitely captures the heart of the Gospel of John. Yeah, for sure. So
one line that like really stuck out to me for some reason was when he says, "I am who I am."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why out of the entire that was the one scene that was like.
Well, this is a recurring thing with God, right? So that's actually a really important line because like we see that first during the burning bush with Moses, and so God says, "I am that I am," and so this is a recurring thing that that's how God basically says His name. Is I am that I am, or I am who I am. And so Jesus repeating that is because they were just having a conversation and he's saying, John was like, well, you wouldn't really get it. And Jesus says, no, I'm a man.
Right.
And then he says, well, yeah, but And
Come on.
and then
Come
he
on,
looks at him,
Jesus. Come on.
and then he looks at him and he says, "I am who I am."
And
Right?
oh.
And so he's saying, "I am a man, and I am also God." And so he's trying to put those things together, which again plays into the beginning of John's gospel, right?
Right.
Having that understanding. So, all right, last thing. What would you guys rate this episode? 1 out of 10.
8.
An 8? Okay.
Yeah, I do 8 because they did a good job at doing a recap, like low key without doing a recap.
Sure. Okay.
I would do a 7 just because we haven't had anything to compare it to so far this season.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I'd say about writing wise, I'd say like a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
But I'd say the overall episode, there's some parts of it where as you're getting back into the season, it's a little bit slow.
Yes,
and so I would say maybe like a 7 overall. What about you?
7 sounds good.
I agree with you. I changed mine to yours.
Okay. All right, that's it for this one. We'll see you guys on the next episode, episode 2 of season 2. Peace.
Peace.
All right, good.